We should have talent night on this thing.
We're gonna invite some local talent out, um, to share some of their tradition and culture with us in a forum that is unrestricted by the confines of American society.
I'm going couch tonight.
You're gonna go couch.
I'm going couch.
May as well. I mean, why not?
Why not?
That's a nice couch. I mean, from what I can see, that's not your that's not your rent to own couch of the early or late 90s.
No, that's not a rent-a-center.
Yeah,
outfit.
That was what I was thinking of, the rent-a-center. Can you still rent-a-center couches?
I don't know, but I remember people got into that like on reses for a while.
Yeah.
And I never understood it.
Yeah. My mom had a I don't think it was called rent-a-center at that time.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was called. But you go in there.
People getting into it though.
Yeah, you go in there and they have like all kinds of stuff, like furniture and appliances and TVs and all that kind of stuff. So my mom went in there and wanted to, yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No.
Anyway, we was gonna go get a new couch. Now, mind you, this is the late 80s. You can probably guess the kind of couch that we got.
Oh, the brown one with the yellow flowers and the...
Yep. The wood, it was like...
Yeah, it had like wood on the arms, kind of.
Yeah, if you went to lay on that couch like you do the couches nowadays, you can kind of take a little leap and land in it. You're going to get a concussion, man. You can get a full concussion.
Well, I remember those. Yeah. And to me, when I think of it, what comes straight to my mind is how low they were to the ground.
Yeah.
It's like...
That's a lot of wood.
It was pretty hard to get off of them couches, and rather risky to get on.
Really risky, yeah.
Yeah, they're kind of that same brown color with those flowers.
Yeah. That was the one. But we got the matching chair too, and I believe it was even like an ottoman with it too, if I can remember correctly. That's the first time I heard the word ottoman. The salesperson was saying ottoman.
Did your bathroom mirrors have gold speckles in the mirror?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That too. I was trying to find a picture of it, but I can't find a picture of it. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about, though.
I do.
You know exactly what I'm talking about.
I do.
Okay. Check this song out.
Okay.
I mean, I think we listened to this already, but let me know. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
That's it, I guess. It's a trick song. That wasn't the one. This is the one right here. see the fuzzy sticks, you know. I don't know if they had them, but I can imagine. And I bet someone had a you know them little ball caps that they used to
Mhm.
wear? They're kind of real tall
Yeah,
and the brim was
with the
short.
net, with the net part on it, and then they'd have two braids with the dark
Oh
prescription
yeah,
glasses.
yeah. And there was that little rope that went up between the kind of on the bill, inside of the bill.
Oh yeah,
Remember that?
oh yeah, oh
What was
yeah.
that for? What
I
was that
don't
little
know.
rope for?
Um,
Some little cordage.
Little cordage.
Yeah.
Oh, CP says hi.
Oh, right on.
CP Oldorf says hi
Is
from
he there?
Pryor, Montana.
Is he there with you?
No, he just messaged me.
Oh, well, tell him I said
Uh,
hi back.
Shandin Pete says hi, CP.
Yeah. Tell him lots of love. LOL.
Lots of love. He said, lots of love. That's I'll send this
Okay.
then we'll get focused.
Yeah. Come on, man. Yeah, man. I was trying to think about something interesting to talk about. And remember one time we had a conversation and we thought or we were thinking about oh man, I just got the laughs all of a sudden. We're thinking about um if there had been any scholarly work concerning the Native American powwow singing styles. You remember that?
Not specifically, but I know we talked about it, but I couldn't cite a specific time.
Okay. Anyway, we I just like got a little wild hair and I thought, oh, I'm going to see what's out there right now. I didn't have a lot of time because this was right when you texted me and said, do on record, but 10:45. And I said, yeah, let's do it. And I don't have nothing to talk about, man. So
Well,
I thought,
you
I know it's me.
for the record, you're
Yeah.
throwing me under the bus right now, but you
I
said
know. Well, yeah. Anyway, I tried to narrate my thought. Yeah, in that thought layered was some blame.
yes,
Yeah.
there was a
Let's
little bit of
acknowledge the
blame.
blame.
Yeah.
Remember we was gonna go back to my notebook though. You remember that?
Yeah, let's do that.
you're
Urban.
you're you're a ball of fire today, man.
I feel like I was too much last time.
Trying to tone it down a bit.
Yeah, what did you think of the last episode? I listened to a little bit of it, but I didn't get very far.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're all meaningful to me, you know.
Oh, shut the hell up. They're not to me, I'll tell you that. There's a couple we could do without.
A couple we could do it. Yes, delete those ones. Yeah, so I just started going through my notebook here. Um, Started in 2009, and some pretty common stuff I said at the beginning, but there was a couple comments I wanted to focus on here that I mentioned. Let me read the first one that caught my eye.
Okay.
Now, this is poetic, man. Okay.
Right,
We're gonna get real. This is like gonna be remember that? Do you remember English class in high school?
Oh yeah.
You had to write creatively.
Oh yeah.
Creative writing. So this is my creative writing English class coming out. I remember this too. I remember writing this because I was watching well, let me read it first and I'll tell you what I was watching. Maybe you'll know it. It wasn't a Vin Diesel movie either. Here we go.
Right. Read it.
Power is like a lightning bolt, a partnership between the sky and earth that create a hot, bright electric flash, capable of producing great change through destruction. Charged clouds finger charge clouds. I don't know what I said here. Finger down charges to the earth, feeling for a partner. That could be taken the wrong way. The earth makes available a opposite charge at a higher point or highest point, reaches up to the clouds. Once they connect power, it releases both on the earth and the sky. The sky holds power, the earth holds power.
That was depressing.
That was depressing. This was quite a few years ago. I remembered I think I was on a trip and I was sitting in a hotel room and I was watching the Weather Channel, which is depressing in itself. So that's probably why it comes
Oh
off
yeah,
depressing.
it's because it's usually it's that channel that comes on right away
Yeah.
when you're in a hotel, but it's the equivalent to the free newspaper is the Wall Street Journal. It's it's like ugh. So yeah,
Just let it play. Yeah. I was watching
yeah.
the Weather Channel and they were describing about lightning.
Hmm.
And for whatever reason, I guess I decided to write that down.
So what was your hopes with that, or like what were you getting at there? Were you just being
Uh,
poetic? Were you just
was I think I was like I was in the middle of trying to understand more about the Thunderbird
mm,
in stories
hmm.
and I don't remember how far along I was in that particular pursuit, but since then I've learned quite a bit about that particular thing, and I'm learning more every day about different tribal understanding of the Thunderbird and its sort of its purpose. So yeah, that
Hmm.
was I think I was thinking about that, and for whatever reason that struck me, and I had to write it down. Nothing in particular. Okay, let's move past that one. Unless you want to talk about it more.
No, I don't. I don't want to. I don't want to talk about
Okay. Let me see
the
if this
earth
next
has
one I pulled
power.
out.
The lightning has power. The sky people have power. There's power within me. There's power within you. There's power here. And there's power there.
Well, you know what true
There's
power
power
is.
everywhere.
You know where true power is. You know where
In
true power
knowledge.
is, right? No, steel. Conan, man.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Crom,
There's true
crom.
power in the sky. There's true power with this guy. There's true power up in the air. There's true power down here. I have power in a duck.
Yeah.
I have power when I'm stuck. Do you have power here? Do you have power there? Oh, yes. I
Yeah.
have power everywhere. There's power in the West. There's, this power is the best.
This is okay. If you think that one was good,
Green eggs and ham.
green eggs and ham.
Okay, go ahead.
This is a good one because I have no idea what the heck I was saying in here. I'm all mixed up, man.
Okay.
So I'm talking about two things here, and I must have been trying to figure it out by just writing it down. So I'm wrestling between these two words, and this is so stupid, but bear with me. So I'm
Okay.
talking about two things: knowledge of culture. You got it?
Yep.
And cultural knowledge. Those two things the same?
Say it again.
Knowledge of culture and cultural knowledge. They're the same or different?
I would say they're different.
They seem different, right? So you're on my mind track here. So here's what I said. Knowledge of culture is an ability or aptitude concerning the life ways of a people, the knowledge of the patterns and practices in relationship to past time and current time. This knowledge provides a person with a skill set, a means to set real goals within the context of a cultural group.
Mm-hmm.
This knowledge provides a tangible expression of culture, a product or narrative of cultural life within a society. Also, it allows for a medium of communication. That's what I said. And I have this little thing that points to some things that I am attributing to culture, knowledge of culture. That's histories, beliefs, customs, traditions, values, language, current and historical accomplishments, etc. Okay. Now I'm going to talk about
Okay.
cultural knowledge. This is what I think cultural knowledge is, as opposed to knowledge of culture. Cultural knowledge seems to be the expression of the knowledge of culture. What the hell? Wait, let me read that again because I don't even understand. Cultural knowledge seems to be the expression of the knowledge of culture. So here we go. I'm going to describe that. Everything that a person knows, such as customs, traditions, beliefs, language, values, is expressed in thoughts, behaviors, motivations, and valuations. A person can act Salish uh if they have a person cannot act Salish if they have no knowledge of culture. Or is it the other or is it that one cannot act Salish if they lack cultural knowledge? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. So I go on some more. If you know the culture, i.e., culture of knowledge, will you also possess cultural knowledge? Oh man, I'm getting really confused here. Or does it take socialization, enculturization, and immersion to develop cultural knowledge first? Then comes the knowledge of culture. I don't know. I think a person can obtain true knowledge of culture. They will in turn obtain cultural knowledge. But it would be difficult to obtain cultural knowledge without knowledge of culture. They go hand in hand. I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's see. So I think I have some an example here. So where? Oh no, this is something different, man. I don't know about that. I don't know about that, man. I don't know about that. I think what I was trying to, and I think later on I start making it a bit more clear. But it's like the difference between like learning something second versus learning something as you develop in your life. So it's
Okay.
like lived experience versus an experience of living after you've already lived first. That's like people trying to reclaim um, knowledge from their heritages, I guess. So you can pick up a book and you can learn a number of things. You can learn the history. You can even learn the language, man. You can take it upon yourself and become fluent in the language. You can learn everything there is to know about the ceremonial ways that you can find in a book. That's like you have knowledge of the culture.
Yeah.
But to have cultural knowledge is that's sort of innate or subconscious in a way because you're just living it. You're just living it.
You maybe.
Maybe. Well, what else would it be?
I don't know. I really don't know.
I don't know either. I don't
Your
know, man.
description, your what would you call that? Your excerpt from your memoirs there
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Excerpt from the memoirs.
was I think, well, that's the point of writing notes down, right? They don't
Yeah.
always make sense. It's
No.
just their thoughts and stuff, right? So
Yeah.
you're we should all be forgiven in that sense, right? Like no take.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But I think
Yeah.
what happens with me is when I'm reading something or and I heard cultural knowledge, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like 12 times.
Yeah.
And so I just started thinking of like that word, but then that statement. So then
Yeah.
but I think what you were trying to say was what you just
Yeah.
summarized, like learning something secondary versus
Yeah.
the other way around. But I don't know what was the intent. What were you who was your audience in your mind when you're writing it? Who were you talking to? What triggered this thing?
Let me see. Let me go back a couple pages and see what is I talking about. I think I remember doing a lot of this like just contemplating cultural competency.
Mhm.
And I was trying to find some way, some method to like gauge where a person was on a spectrum of knowing and understanding um, tradition and custom and norms, to the state which we are, or which anyone could be today, which is not like it was in the past. And so I remember reading, I don't know how many articles about sort of modern approaches to measuring a person's worldview to see if you can capture variations that would tell a researcher or an evaluator, where a person was at in terms of understanding the pursuits of a cultural group in which they identify with.
Mhm.
That's where I was at. And so I
Okay.
think later on, I wrote, I jotted some more notes about it, and it does sort of say what I was thinking about, or what I said previously. Cultural knowledge. This is the knowledge formed within the culture, and knowledge about or knowledge of culture. This is the knowledge that can be formed outside of culture. So, like this little article we're just reading, that's knowledge about culture or knowledge of culture, but it's flawed in a way. But that's just like histories, things you can write down, customs you
Mhm.
can observe and note, traditions that you can observe and note, languages you can write down, like real tangible, what appears to be factual and concrete things.
Mhm.
Whereas cultural knowledge is like the mannerisms, like when you go to a place and you feel out of place, because you don't have the same mannerisms as everybody else in the room. So mannerisms, behaviors, like abstractions, like thoughts and those intangible things. In other words,
Mhm.
that's where I was going with that, and I think I was all trying to situate it within the language, like how language captured that thought, if that was true or not. That
Do
was
you
it, man.
believe that?
What
Do you believe that?
do I believe that?
What you wrote, do you still believe that?
Yeah, I think so. I think you can divide. I think you can divide the things within what we broadly call culture into tangible and intangible things.
Mhm.
And I think the tangible things are accessible to someone outside of that sort of cultural group. So they're pretty much the things you can see. They don't, of course, they don't characterize the wholeness of that cultural group, but they're more accessible. The other ones are like
Mhm.
learned behaviors. You have to spend time. You have to live within that group to really grab hold of those intangible things to where they become subconscious in a way. Why? What you thought about it?
You made me realize I don't write stuff down.
Yeah, I
I
know.
mean,
That
I
last
do
episode,
very rarely.
that last episode said he wrote stuff down and you throw it away.
Yeah, I do a lot. I throw
Yeah,
it a lot of it away.
yeah.
Because it's garbage.
I
I
mean,
don't say
maybe.
anything profound or anything like I don't have keen observations on the world and on I'm kind of a smartass. So when I think of things, I think of the funny in it.
Yeah,
It's weird to me, like even in my academic life,
yeah,
I've always looked at things about like the funny part of it.
yeah,
So like whatever I'm reading, whatever I'm doing, whatever lecture I'm listening to or giving or whatever, there it's funny to me. The whole concept of all of this, like what we're doing here,
yeah, yeah,
like like collecting data and then presenting findings and like on our own things is funny to
yeah,
me. It's funny. Like we're in a weird comical situation
yeah, yeah.
where we're like we're our own we're doing surgery on ourselves.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So like when I listen to native people talk,
yeah,
it actually and if I'm being completely honest, I'm really uncomfortable with it.
yeah,
Like in the academic thing, like when we go to like conferences or we go to see guest lectures and stuff, and I'm watching native people speak,
yeah.
I get like secondhand an
Oh yeah,
uncomfortable feeling. Do you know
yeah.
what I mean?
I do know exactly what you mean. Yeah,
So, uh, and I think it all stems from this like weird, like we're not part of it,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
really. Although like you're a pretty successful academic, and I think that most people see your work and they have a lot of respect for what you've done. It's all really weird
yeah,
and it's kind of uncomfortable.
yeah,
Like for as comfortable and for as much as I've done uh this kind of work, I wouldn't say I'm comfortable with it. Like I'm not comfortable with the academic part of it, like the
yeah,
jotting down my thoughts and like putting down and I don't know where that comes from or what it is.
yeah,
So even like now listening to your notes and like the things you're writing down,
yeah,
there's a little bit of uncomfortableness with it. Like there's a
yeah,
little bit of like ew, you know? Like I don't
yeah, yeah, yeah,
because for one, I'm so afraid of it's so easy to criticize and to critique other people's work,
yeah,
but like listening to yours is where it's like too close, right? Because it's too close to home. Because you and I are like we do this thing back and forth all the time. So then
yeah.
I'm like, ugh, it's weird. Stop doing it.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of this makes sense. Does it?
No, it does. It does, and it brings up a really important point. Keep going though, and I'll say what I think.
Well, I don't know if I have much else to say about it. I just know that like me personally, I've never been fully comfortable in academics. I've never been fully comfortable in my own work
Yeah,
completely. I always feel like um I'm actually I would say I'm kind of down on myself when it comes to
yeah,
stuff I've done,
yeah,
whether it's presentations I've put together or things I've published or projects that get any sort of recognition. I'm not comfortable with that
yeah,
at all. Um, that's why I think in the tipple world, in my preservation work, I found a lot of comfort because I like the idea that you address the problem.
yeah,
It's like everyone. That's what consultation is by its nature is that it's the recognition of adverse effects. So you're like looking at it and you're saying, "There's the
yeah,
problem." So all the focus is on the problem,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
We're like in native academics, we have not got to a point where we can look at people's work and like be honest in critiquing it. So
Yeah.
there's this weird like so so when I do something and like native people come to me and they're like, "Man, Aaron, good job," you know, like I get
Yeah.
that, but that like I also know native people, and I'm like, come on, you know damn well you got something to say. I would prefer that you say it because,
Yeah.
for one, I'm not going to get better at anything I'm doing without knowing the truth from
Yeah.
people I respect, right?
Yeah.
The other thing is that ultimately I don't want to do it. So there's this weird thing. I've always used academic work as a way to like stay connected to something,
Yeah.
right? Like to me, putting together a lecture or a research project served a huge purpose when I didn't live here, when I wasn't home.
Yeah.
It was like this constant way of turning not only my attention onto something that I, for one, miss,
Yeah.
but it also like it was easier to dissect it because I was away from it. Now that
Oh
I'm
yeah.
here, I notice that that need is gone. Like that necessity to constantly be doing that because
Yeah.
being an active participant versus being an observer is different, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't feel the need to do those things. So now when I look back at some of the work I've done, I feel like it not it does make me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I'll be first to admit like some of it's I would say everything that's out there like is pretty good. Like I'm okay with it, but
Yeah.
I could have done this better and could have done this better and done this, you know, like that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I just don't think as native scholars we're afforded a real opportunity of becoming experts in our field. We're like pushed into that pretty early because of the lack of representation. So we
Oh
don't go
yeah.
through the gauntlet in
Oh
the
yeah.
same sense.
Yeah.
Our gauntlet is different. Our gauntlet is like, can you handle the attention and can you make it through?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean. Yes.
Where like a geologist's gauntlet who doesn't represent any tribal community, he's getting real critique or she's getting like real review
Yeah.
and she has to make it through. She's not the tribal kid in the class, right? And that's
Yeah.
just gonna, you know, talk to us about buffalo. You know what I mean? And every time there's like a native question, the professor like gets scared and just looks at the Indian kid
Oh
and kind of
man.
just, you know what I mean? So
That yeah. That's from
our
your
gauntlet
experience.
is really more like, can you carry the attention and the representation of of an entire race of people and still make it through, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and really be like reflective and like, can you do that? So I don't know. This is a really long winded answer or comment on just your little snippet on
Yeah. Yeah.
on your on your your brain, I guess, from that time, because
Yeah.
I know for a fact in 2009 or did any given year, like my thought process is different. Partly,
Yeah.
and I noticed the profession that I was doing at the time has a huge effect on my opinions on culture.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when you're a maintenance man, it's different, you know, when you're a professor, it's different when you're
Yeah.
like when you're messing with horses a lot, you know, you even start to look at things a little bit different, you
Oh
know.
man. Yeah. Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
uh if in 2009 you can look back and say, well, what was I doing? And it's like, well, of course that's how I'm going to think. For one, you're still in student mode or you're still in I'm dad mode or I'm like
Yeah.
whatever. So that's how I'm thinking, you know.
Yeah. 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 That three interesting things that you mentioned in that long-winded response.
Mm-hmm. That
Number one,
ramble.
that ramble, but important things that some people need to know about the native experience if they want to know about it. like that uncomfort. That's familiar. Like I
Yeah.
don't know what your experience was in school, but when it was, the Native American Day, and I just wanted to hide. I don't know
Yeah,
if
you
you
want to
felt that. Oh my God,
go.
I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was, but as I got older, I sort of understood it. Is because I didn't want to be misrepresented, and that fear of misrepresentation is comes from or it's how you're represented is not in your hands. It's in someone else's hands that shows up, and you don't know who's going to show up sometimes. And when they do show up, you're like, my God, this is, what are my peers going to think when they see this? That was sort of my experience. And so I get that exact same feeling when when I'm doing something academically and there's only, a handful of indigenous scientists, indigenous scholars, and when you sort of reach when you go to an event and there's only a few of us indigenous people and one's presenting something,
Oh,
I get super. I mean, I try not to be critical because I have to understand everyone's got different life experience and their connection to their own ways and traditions is could be vastly different than my own. But either way, if they're presenting something that seems way off, I could just feel everybody looking at me in stereotyping me in a particular way. So that's why I try to be very careful about when I present anything to non-indigenous, but indigenous people too. I just want to like say the raw truth of things and
yeah.
not try to glorify anything. So that uncomfort is I'm familiar with that. I'm familiar with that 100%. And you see that not only even in academics, but you see it elsewhere. Probably at your meetings you go to, you get the one person who is in a way talking for indigenous people or native people and their thoughts about tribal historic preservation, and you're like, man, that's way off. But the crowd is eating it up, You
Yeah.
bring a drum to a meeting, and man, you're it. Everybody's gonna all eyes on you. But that's just
Yeah.
yeah, it's a
And it
weird
actually
thing.
it can hinder progress too.
Oh man, yeah, yeah, yeah,
It-
yeah. And not saying it's all like that, but you get that initial discomfort. Like you don't know what's going to
yeah.
happen. You don't know what's going to be said. Um, yeah. So that sort of that thing that happens, it sort of skews how it I don't know it interrupts an opportunity for you to represent who you are and where you come from because
Yeah.
non-native people don't well some of them don't know and understand the complexity of each individual communities, and even that complexity within each community is different. So you're starting at a deficit already, and you got to sort of climb out that hole with these skillful explanations and persuasive examples that sort of lay the groundwork for the truth that tries to take the edge off that romantic and glorified version of indigenous thought and ideas. So yeah, that was I mean in a way that last thing you said was sort of the basis of this thing that I was trying to do with that the rambling that I wrote, and you illustrated it perfectly by saying when you are away from home, your demeanor to knowing things about your home was different than when you were home, because when you're home, you're living it. You're you
You're
you're
it. Yeah.
you're it. You're doing the tradition. You're living in the norms. You're living and expressing the mannerisms. There's no. I mean, you don't. You tend to interrogate it differently to a different level when you're thinking philosophically about things. You do it differently when you're wrapped in it. But when you're
Yeah.
outside of it, I mean, there's somewhat of a benefit too when you're outside of it.
There is.
Yeah, because then you sort of get to strip away the sort of I wouldn't call it pollution, but you get to strip away the influence of getting sort of wrapped up in it, and you can sort of see from the outside some of these things. And I
Well,
don't think I was quite capturing it in those two definitions. I mean, the definition or the words themselves are problematic. Cultural cultural knowledge and knowledge of culture, that's just problematic in itself. But it's sort of describing that two different ways of seeing sort of culture at play. One is you're sort of seeing it from the outside, and it's hard to pierce deep in that when you're outside of it.
yeah.
The questions you can formulate or the wonders or the phenomenons that you see and observe are far different than when you're in it and living in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very different. Very
Very
different. And
different.
the goals are different too, though,
Yeah.
because for those of us who care to be practitioners, when you're away from home, in some way, the research and the critique and the review and the observation and the regurgitation of these things is the closest thing we have to practicing.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
when you're there, that all of that changes because your goal is altered by your access to resources, which is in this case the things you want to do, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, one of the benefits I think from research, other than just diplomas and things like that, which when I look back at it, it's like I don't know how much they provided me in terms of academics, other than just learning how to write, I guess.
Yeah.
But one of the benefits is like when I was away from home and I would like find a topic I wanted to study, whether it's about my own people or whatever, but
Yeah.
let's just say my own people. My proximity to people actually allowed me room to breathe, right?
Yeah.
And I could take it, work on it, set it down. Take it, work on it, set it down. There was this
Yeah.
kind of like thing that could happen, and I could observe it and I could pick it back up. And when I'm here, I think because of I don't want to say infrequent manner of cultural life, because I mean, crows were pretty fortunate, to have quite a bit, but it's not like, oh, there's church every Sunday, but like, say there's a certain ceremony, they
Yeah.
might only have that like once or twice a year.
Yeah.
So there's kind of this rush, or kind of an anxiety that comes to participation. Does that make sense?
Um I think so. I get the first one.
Yeah. So we're like, like when you're here and like say well, like last night there was a ceremony that I went to that I don't often get
Oh.
to go to
Yeah.
just because of timing or whatever. And it just was like, wow,
Yeah.
okay. So then there's this like thing. So to get to it. So when you get to it, there's also this like take in as much as you can, apply what
Yeah.
knowledge you have from the past to it, whatever. But that's to every ceremony, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
this misconception by non-tribal people and even by people trying to relearn their culture that there's this constant knowledge sharing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Like where you sit down and this wise person sits with you and talks about life and Turtle Island and all this
Yeah.
shit,
Yeah. Yeah. So
When
far
in
from reality.
reality, it's like a function. There's a function to these ceremonies.
Yeah.
So that also means that if, like last night, I was invited to come and sing to help sing, which the act of singing is like physically taxing for one
Yeah.
in some settings, but also it's like there's a lot of anxiety with it
Oh yeah.
because you're
Yeah.
called upon to sing certain songs at certain times.
Yeah.
And that also means like in my living room, I can sing those songs. Someone says, "Hey, what do you know that song?" Yeah, I sing it.
Yeah.
But in that setting, there's like this. So there's not. there isn't this like, we're going to teach you how to do this or all that.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
not there. That comes like at different times over time, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know where I'm getting with that, but the point is when you're in living these things and doing these things, there's like a weird urgency that's attached to
Yeah.
them by
Yeah.
native people.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
I know what you're talking about, man.
okay.
I get it now. So yeah. So let me break it down and see if I'm right in what you just said. So when you get the opportunity to step away, or when you're not living within the confines of your cultural sphere, or what have you, you you don't have the pressure that comes along with participation, and or even like the responsibility of knowing. Like,
I think, yeah.
yeah, so if you know something and you know you have to do it, and you know you can do it, you're going to do it, because that's just part of living within a culture.
Yep.
That's like for example, if you know that you need a certain kind of food for a certain ceremony that's going to happen in the future, then you got to get off your butt and you got to go do those things. You got to get those
Yeah.
things. And that might be a sort of a year-round activity. And
Yeah.
you don't got the privilege of saying, "Nah, I'm going to take a break. I don't want to do that." When you're away from home, because you're sort of out of that, the challenge to do that is difficult. So you sort of have the privilege to take a break in a way. You
Yeah, because
privileged.
also there's amongst your own people, when you're away, you're just away, right? And so when
Yeah.
if you attend a certain ceremony and the person that's away is there,
Yeah.
it's like, hey, it's good to see you, blah blah
Yeah.
blah. Glad you're here,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The expectation of that person that's away is very low.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
required of them is very low.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I've been both. I
Yeah.
can honestly say I'm both. I've
Yeah.
been both. So now that I'm here, the expectation of me is very different. It's higher. There's an anxiety with it. There's a
Yeah.
pressure with it, and it's something that all Crow people feel. And I actually believe a lot of ceremonial people feel, especially those that are not like the owners of are the stewards of that particular ceremony, but they're
Yeah.
like involved, like they're helping with it,
Yeah.
right? Because the owner of it, like, so let's just say I'm saying owner, but really the leader
Yeah.
of a certain ceremony,
Yeah.
there's pressure on that person, but there's also a comfort with them too, because they're in charge,
Yeah.
meaning like the rules are predicated by them
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
their way of doing things. So like even that means the breaking of those rules is completely up to them.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh
It's
yeah.
like their thing, right? So
Yeah.
there's the pressure is different. When we start is really up to them. When we end, it's up to them.
Yeah.
Um, for 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 those of us that are kind of like in the in between, where like we might be asked to help, but we're not decision makers,
Yeah.
right? So then
Yeah.
there's a pressure to know what we're supposed to do that's actually greater than the person that
Yeah.
is running the thing, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what
Yes.
I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah.
And so by being the person who lives 400 miles away from that, when you show up to help, it's just extra. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, badass, you're gonna help? Cool,
Yeah.
man. Come and do this.
Yeah.
Right? That
Yeah.
pressure is not there because it's more like super cool, you know?
Yeah.
It's super cool, yeah. You
Yeah.
know,
We
like
get extra hand today.
yeah, we get extra hands or an extra singer or an extra
Yeah.
whatever, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Where like and there's some forgiveness to that person too
Yeah.
if they mess up or if there's a forgiveness there, right?
Yeah.
And I also know that's even greater for people who are not from your tribe and also like non-native. If they attend those, there's a forgiveness given to them that's not given to tribal people that are involved.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And that's why people always say, like, every res has that one white person that had learned everything about their culture and knows things and their comfort level so high. It's also because the ridicule of them is not there though, because
Yeah.
they're trying, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
everyone likes so and so. He's trying or she's trying or whatever. When
Yeah.
it's us, it's you should know better.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
You
You
know?
get it. Oh, you get it. Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
should know better.
They'll tear into you, man. There's no
Yeah,
forgiveness. Yeah, that privilege, the privilege of proximity, that's a big
and the
deal.
privilege of being an outsider, because 'cause I've also
Yeah.
been that too, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I was
Yeah.
that way with your people where pretty early on, I was being invited to a lot of things and, like, I was privy to a lot of things,
Yeah.
and I was taking it all in, and I just thought of it as me being respectful.
Yeah.
Then I remember one day talking to some people, and they're like, "Oh, we've never even heard of that," and I had been to them, and then I thought, "Well, that's not right either."
Yeah.
And then I thought, "I'm taking up a seat."
Mm.
There's
Hmm.
so much effort by my adopted family and all that to, like, bring Aaron bring Aaron
Yeah.
along. There was so
Yeah.
much effort and accommodation made to me, which was nice and I'm grateful for.
Yeah.
I thought of it as like an honor in a way, but there also came a point where it was like, well, that same amount of effort has to be given to their own people, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Or ought to be, yeah.
It should be. I think
Yeah.
it should be because we just don't live in that world where every family is involved and you know and so it's up to tribal people or of your own tribe to like make up the difference and that's why it's so hard to be native, right? It's so hard because it's like we gotta think of all these things, you know,
Yeah.
like when you go to a ceremony and then they'll say, I've heard this on every reservation I've been affiliated with. I've heard this. They'll go to powwows. These people will say, these young people or these people, they'll go to powwows, but they don't come to these things.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Attendance is real low at these things. Well, at the end of the day, in 2026, whose fault is that?
Yeah.
Are we still blaming the church?
Yeah.
I mean, are we still
Yeah, we
blaming
can.
boarding schools? It's like that definitely is a cause of why or why families over time remove themselves from ceremonies. But
Yeah.
damn, if you want to get to a basketball game, you'll get to it.
Oh yeah.
If you want
Oh
to get
yeah.
to a tournament, you'll get to it in whatever sport. Like even
Yeah.
if it's wrestling or football or whatever, or like you'll make it happen, right?
Yeah.
But also, I completely sympathize with these people who aren't accommodated to in their own communities, where these ceremonial leaders are acting as like gurus, you know,
Oh
and they're
yeah.
creating little congregations. And if you're outside of that group, then we're not going to say you can't come, but we're damn sure not going to like fully invite you. What do they call that? An invitation when you they'll say like, "Oh yeah, you should come," but they never tell you when, where, and even like
Yeah.
how, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I just I don't again, I don't know where I'm going with any of this, but
Well, it's a good breakdown
yeah,
of
yeah,
that thing we're talking about
yeah.
cultural knowledge, knowledge of culture. Again, that's not the best term, but the thing you're talking about, that phenomenon, few people understand that or can articulate it in that particular way. Native people know it. Native people who had to leave home are committed to their communities in a certain way. That you feel that when you're away and you come back, you're not treated, or you're given permission to cut corners, not cut corners on things, but you don't have the same level of responsibility. But then when you
No,
move back,
no,
you have a
yeah,
heavy expectation of many things. And even
yeah,
people, yeah, even people when they go away, that if you're tied in so tightly to that, you still have that heavy expectation, and it becomes very difficult to meet that expectation at such a long distance away.
Yeah, and I think that's also why like some cultures where culture loss has been so great, they actually inadvertently have created a more regimented system for these ceremonies and also like a more regimented calendar for them, like
Yeah.
a schedule,
Yeah.
because now the people who are involved don't always live there. The people that are involved are the picking is so slim that it's you have to accommodate that by getting more organized.
Yeah.
Because I see that here, it's happening here with certain ceremonies where they have to really accommodate those people that are needed for that. So they become almost like planned out a lot further. So we know on
Oh,
this date we're going to do this. But then these other ceremonies that are so prominent and so used frequently that
yeah.
there's always singers for it. There's always whatever. So it's like you can just kind of do them on a whim.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And so I feel like every reservation's different, and I'm not trying to paint, like be real general, but I do know what every practicing tribal person experiences is how uncomfortable they are with a lot of these settings, whether it's academics, our
Oh, yeah.
ceremonial life, or how people integrate within their ceremonies, non-native people, them leaving. I actually think with like the active participant of cultural stuff, they're like chock full of anxiety.
Oh, yeah.
There's like this weird, like, I don't know how to explain it. There's a uncomfortable awkwardness with it. So when
Yeah.
we hear people, yeah, because even if we hear people talking that we respect and we know they have knowledge, that still kind of makes it's uneasy for a variety of reasons. And then when there's people that are talking and you know they're not participants, then that's this whole other thing of like, I get it now, man. I never used to. I used to always be like, kind of this, like, just let them do what they need to do. They're bettering themselves. But now I'm in a position where I'm like, no, I get it. This person shouldn't be talking about
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. 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 That's like that
You
idea that,
know?
everybody should have a voice. Like,
No,
no,
yeah,
no,
no. I don't believe
no,
everyone should have a voice. I think some
no.
of us need to shut up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Some people
and
need to not get that
and,
opportunity.
and I
Yeah.
know that this podcast can be seen as like me wanting to talk all the time, but if I rarely share my opinions like this with everybody. So
Yeah.
this is really the only time I'm like talking like this, because even in consultation, I don't talk the way I'm talking because I
Yeah.
try to be very like pragmatic and like stick with the law. I use the law as my guide. So it's just like,
Yeah.
we'll just stick with the law. I'm not
Yeah.
one of these guys that shares like wise Indian knowledge at a meeting because I just don't think it's needed. The law doesn't require me to. The law says do this, and my
Yeah.
job is to hold them accountable to that. So, but also like I know I've gotten better at knowing when I need to shut up.
Yeah.
And I think maybe the phrase is like not everyone needs a voice. It's more like not everyone needs to be heard all the time. So it's
Yeah.
like there's
Yeah.
definitely times, more often than not, I don't need to be heard.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, nobody needs to know what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I mean, Miranda hears it, my kids might hear it, you know,
Yeah.
you hear it, but that, I mean, and then I think also too, another thing is that maybe we can agree on this. Maybe everyone does need to be heard at certain times. Everybody has a voice at certain times, but not everyone's required to accommodate what I say.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's different. And
It
I think
is.
that's you
It's
don't
way
have to
different.
listen to what I say. You can turn the podcast off. you know? Like and in fact, I think I wish more people would criticize our podcast.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wish more people would say, I don't agree with you guys when you said this.
Yeah.
Like I want to hear that.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I'm gonna care what they say. It doesn't mean I'm gonna like it doesn't mean I'm gonna like try to fix what they're saying, but I want to hear it. I don't mind
Yeah.
it.
Well, if it's legitimate though, if it's
Yeah,
yeah.
maybe. I don't know. I'm also just a dude too, so like
Yeah,
half
I
of what
know.
I'm saying isn't I think it's honest in the moment, but it
Yeah,
varies. It changes, right?
it
People
does.
can change. I think we get too caught on all that shit. I don't know what I'm even fucking talking about right now, but
No, man. Yeah,
this is
you
all from your lightning power in the sky
you
thing.
your powers met. Your sky and your earth met.
Where my sky and my earth
You
met.
That's where
My
Crom
my
lives,
sky,
is between the
my
sky and the earth.
yeah. Is it too much to do a non-detailed version of my sacred medicine dream last night?
Uh,
Is
what
that
what?
not is that not for the podcast?
I don't know. That's kind of up to you. I don't
Well,
know.
I thought it was interesting. Didn't you think?
Yeah, I mean it is. Those particular dreams are yeah. Because
Well, I'll tell you,
I had one
we
like
could
it, and
say it.
I'll share it with you after we're done. After you're done.
I'll just say it. I'm here.
Yeah,
And you can cut it out if you think it's too much. But
sure.
last night I had a dream. And it wasn't like a ceremonial dream. Like we were in a car
Yeah,
and there were some people in the car and I couldn't make out everybody. I'm pretty certain one of those people were is Cheney Bell, one of my good buddies, you know.
yeah,
But
yeah,
I'm not actually entirely sure. But anyway, this individual was talking to me
yeah,
and we were like going somewhere. We end up going to a school
yeah,
and he goes, "Oh," like he just said it like real nonchalant, like today's a special day. And I was like, "Oh, what is it?" And he goes, "It's the day we bury the earth."
hmm,
Is what I think he said, buried by the earth or bury the earth or something.
yeah,
And I was like, "Oh yeah, really?" And I was like, "What?" And then nothing was said about it because in my dream I had to like use the bathroom.
yeah,
And because I think I really did had to have to use the bathroom.
yeah,
So in my dream, I'm like, we get to this school, they're gonna go give this presentation on what this means,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
And I'm like trying to run around looking for this bathroom. Anyway, but that phrase stuck with me. So then I messaged you about it.
yeah,
And then you actually said there is like a time of year where that a similar phrase is like used, right?
yeah, yeah,
And it was
yes,
with you guys. It was Salish. I wasn't
yeah,
this wasn't these were Salish people talking about Salish things. It wasn't a crow thing. I was just sitting in this car. I thought that was pretty cool.
yeah. That is pretty cool. That's I don't know what those kind of dreams, why those happen, but like you're tapping into something.
Yeah, because I wouldn't know
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I wouldn't know that what was said to me or like I was although I do feel like I learned a lot while I lived there. Like I didn't learn those kinds of things, you know.
yeah,
It was pretty
yeah, yeah.
specific things. So
Yeah, that specific wintertime designation of things, and I think that's what it's referring to, the sweat
yeah,
house in
and then
that particular way.
yeah, and then
Yeah.
you sent me a meme of Graham Greene and Val Kilmer talking
You
about
had
having a
yourself a
medicine
vision.
dream. Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah, it's
had a
pretty cool.
that was pretty cool. I think that's it's a good example of I don't know, dreams are weird, you know. I think
Mhm.
they get oversimplified in this thing we're talking about, when academics starts to grab onto native things and this doesn't make sense, but a lot of scholars say, dreams are an indigenous a form of indigenous data and knowing, and that's there's truth to that, but it's really way complex, and I don't think we quite understand it sometimes ourselves unless we have deep knowledge and can connect it to things that are within within the cultural knowledge that we have and share among other people. But I had that I had a same dream one time when I was leaving Billings. I and Salish were leaving Billings and was visiting her dad, and then I the night before I was snacking on some chips and salsa.
Mm-hmm.
Little did I
As one
know,
does.
little did I know, the salsa was expired.
Oh no.
Oh man! And so on the way back, I started to get that gut ache and kind of
Mm-hmm.
get the hot flashes and the cold sweats. I was having a rough go, man. I was sick as a dog, man. And I don't that's funny, and it's sick as a dog. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. But anyway, so I napped. I just went to sleep in the car, and we were driving wasn't too far out of Billings. There's those two rest areas kind of in that I don't know how to describe it. But Celicia woke me up and said, "Do you need to go to the bathroom?" And I was dreaming when she woke me up, and I was dreaming of this old Indian lady, and she was standing up, and she was in front of me, and she had her hands out, kind of like making a cup, kind of like that
Mm-hmm.
with
The
their
cup in her
hands,
hand.
and water was coming out of there, and it was like flowing out of her hands, out of that bowl.
Mm-hmm.
She said, "This is where crows come from." Yeah,
Oh, really?
yeah. And I just listened to her, and then that's when Celicia woke me up. I said, "Man, I had this dream. This old lady had her hands and making a bowl, and she said, 'This is where crows come from.' And she was like showing it to me. This water coming, like emanating from her, this bowl and flowing out. Kind of interesting.
Hmm.
That's one thing we should talk about is dreams, man. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. That's that might be taking it too far.
I mean,
I don't know, man.
it's
What
hard
do
to
we
say.
know? What do we
I
know
do
about it?
know that's what I've asked people about dreams and stuff, and they just always just say, well, we can't always know what they mean, and sometimes dreams
Yeah.
don't mean anything, but
Yeah.
it's good to express them. And then they say, all they tell us is like if there's something good happens in that dream, then they'll say, we'll make a wish that will come true, what
Yeah.
we saw. And that's it. That's I mean, then you
Yeah.
don't sit there and dwell on it, or even if you have a bad dream, they're just kind of like, well, same thing. That if it's something you don't want, we'll just make a wish that it don't happen,
Yeah.
whatever, and then that's it.
Yeah.
I think
Pretty
sometimes
practical.
we've borrowed like kind of this mysticism and romanticism,
Oh
and
yeah.
we
Oh
kind
yeah.
of, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
yeah.
But I come across this article.
Mm-hmm.
Um and
Whoa.
the article is let's see, I'm trying to maintain my composure here. Where is it at? God darn it. This article is titled Making the Singing. Oh, wait, that's not it. That's like an abridged title. Let's get the real title here. Let me scroll back. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Making and Singing Powwow Songs, Text, Form, and the Significance of Cultural Based Analysis by Dr. Browner, whom I'm showing you here. Um, this is an interesting article, man. This is interesting. And I'm just going to give you a snapshot of
We're getting
what
a
I
snippet of
read.
the article.
I'm going to give you a snippet of this article. Now, mind you, let's mind you a couple things. I didn't get a whole lot of chance to look up any details, but they're an ethnomusicologist.
Oh,
Yeah, so you've read some of those ethnomusicologist articles or seen their
I have.
research. And
I
so they're
have.
really into like notating traditional music, which
Notation and meter and like things like that.
yeah. So it gets really technical in that end, and I somewhat check out in a way. It's interesting to me, but um not that interesting. So right off, right in the beginning, it says it says this. Most powwow singers cannot read music. And even when they do, they refuse to learn new repertoires through that medium. All right. I mean, I'm listening. I'm hooked. That one hooked me. I said, okay, I want to know more. What is this all about, and who's talking here? So I'm going to read one more. I'm going to see if we can trigger you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So focus.
Yeah.
Okay. Ownership of non-material culture is crucial to North American Indians who perceive the gradual erosion of cultural knowledge as the latest in a series of threats to their survival as distinct people. I guess, yeah. That's sure. Control of the discourse about culture is seen as one way to assert cultural sovereignty. And publications on Indian subjects are increasingly subject to critique in North America and Canadian publications, such as, then some examples. Now, that's an interesting one there because um, I don't know. I have my doubts about this increasingly subject to critique. I don't see that.
Mm-hmm.
But again, go ahead. What?
Read it again. That little part.
That last part?
Yeah.
Control of the discourse about culture is seen as one way to assert cultural sovereignty. And publications on Indian subjects are increasingly subject to critique in North America and Canadian publications.
Okay.
I mean,
Keep going.
there might be an increase in that, but the quality of it, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Oh, also, this is from 2000, so it's pretty dated, like 26, 25 years old.
Yeah.
Okay, this is where it starts getting real interesting. And some of these things are right on the money, but some of them are way off. So she continues on to talk about let me see if I can paraphrase this without reading the whole darn thing. She continues to talk about this idea of cultural sovereignty and ownership, and something that is troubling to her um, about this trend toward political fragmentation and infighting. And she says, for example, in 1996, members of, I can say it, right? I shouldn't be worried about saying what's already published, right? For example, in 1996, members of the Pechanga Reservation's Cultural Conservation Committee visited the music library at the University of California, Los Angeles, demanding reparations of material found in a 1955 music education master's thesis. Committee members claimed the thesis contained contained restricted knowledge which should not be made available to the public. Upon further investigation, I discovered the committee was made up of tribal members belonging to a specific political fraction whose methods of gaining power was to corner the market on cultural, specifically musical knowledge, and that the aforementioned public was in fact another fraction within the tribe. That's a lot to read, man. That's what she said. Pretty much saying there was a committee, a cultural committee, demanded some material back from someone's master's thesis. But in her opinion, they were trying to get that material because they were trying to keep it out of the hands of other tribal members. We heard that before. We know that story.
Yeah. I don't want to pretend to know the inner workings of the Pechanga tribe.
Yeah.
But I also think that she's far outside of her area of expertise.
It seems like it, right?
Yeah. And that little commentary on their tribal politics doesn't seem to be necessary for what she's writing about, I think, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, it takes a hard turn after this intro. But here's
Okay,
this is where
keep going.
this is where it gets a little bit out of hand in the thing you're saying. Like she's sort of out of her area of expertise because she starts describing powwow music in a way that doesn't make a lot of sense.
Okay.
So this is a couple paragraphs down, and this is a really interesting one. So the part I highlighted was in reference to this idea that she's acknowledging there's a pan-tribal context, and this pan-tribal context um, even choices of music terminology can be politically charged. So she's saying these terminologies has some, I guess, influence by tribal political things. So here's what she says. For example, when rural and reservation powwow singers create new songs, the term they generally use when describing the process is to, quote, make a song. That's for apparently the reservation folks. While urban musicians define the process as, quote, compositions. Yeah, yeah. And so she says, why do some native musicians use the word make while others compose? First, she makes this idea making is usually a group effort, while one or two drum members crafting the melody and the other the text. Second, when completing the new song, when completed, the new song is owned and credited to the drum as a whole rather than an individual. That's for the reservation folks, apparently. Urban drummers are more likely to assign credit for composing a song to an individual. Oh, man. Now, here's a good one. Moreover, urban drums are now starting to give their songs titles, such as Commodities on Easy Street, whereas rural or reservation drums are using terminology such as slow straight song or fancy war dance.
She's way off.
Oh, man.
Like she's super off.
Oh, man. Yeah. Yeah. This was yeah, right. That's as far as I got. Then I was browsing the rest. And she starts to go into sort of these differences in tempos and structure of different
What's
songs
this
from
author's name?
um this is let's see. Tara. Wait, what did I say? God darn it. Browner?
Downer?
Browner.
Browner.
Yeah, Browner. Tara Browner. Okay, here we go. Here's another one that was interesting. Most powwow songs are strophic. I don't know what strophic means. With an interior repetition. And each strophe is called a round by dancers or push up by singers in Indian performance terminology. A push up refers to, and this is a good one because I never heard this before. When I read that, I thought, yeah, where does that term push up come from? Anyway, a push up, she says, refers to pushing the voice up in a higher pitch at the beginning of each new strophe and is descriptive of the physical effort of singing. Something like something. Yeah. So yeah, something a term like incomplete repetition does not relate to those unfamiliar with native performance practice. Yeah, there we go, man. So push up. Where does that term come from? Do you know? You ever hear anybody?
Well, it's before we try to break down where it comes from, it also is reflective of a time frame.
Yeah.
I don't think it's used that much anymore. I don't think it's used at all.
Like older MCs at powwows will say.
like it seems
Yeah.
to have been like a late 80s into the 90s, maybe early 2000s,
Yeah.
but it was also just like a certain age group
Yeah.
of announcer would say push-ups,
Yeah.
4 push-ups.
Yeah.
I don't suspect that it comes from the pushing up of the voice. I think it simply is just borrowing a term like give me 10 push-ups, give
Yeah.
me 20 push-ups. I think
Yeah.
it's a lot more simplistic
That's
than
makes
that,
sense.
you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't no, I don't. Most of what she said is actually a pretty good example of a lot of um how anthropology
Yeah.
in general like interprets tribal practices
Oh yeah.
and it's funny because Powwow is so modern, it's kind of like a very contemporary critique or view of so I'm not it's weird because I mean I know what she's talking about, but it's
Yeah.
wrong. Like
Yeah.
everything she's saying, she's like using the right terms and borrowing the words, but it's like they're in wrong places and she's um ascribing, is that no? Subscribing? Prescribing? I don't know what the word is.
Subscribing. Yeah.
The wrong
Subscribing.
definitions to them and usages of 'em. Like
Yeah.
the whole composing and making thing, that's not that like everything she said, like those terms are used, but that's not a thing.
Yeah.
Like what she's talking about, like it's
Yeah.
not a thing.
Yeah. They're one and the same. It's just
One and the
terminology.
same, and I find that most people kind of use them interchangeably, like even within the same story, talking about
Yeah.
composing a song or
Yeah.
making a song.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. I've yet to read the rest of this, but this has been cited like 45 times, which is not a whole lot, but man, that's probably too much. That's probably
Yeah,
too
because
much
it's wrong. I
because
mean,
it's
it's
wrong.
wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wrong.
Number one, it's wrong.
Yeah.
So some of the things that have cited this, and there's some interesting ones there. I got to read these, but I can't find it now. Anyway, yeah. So a good example of a bad example, and
Yeah, like I
yep,
mean, but it's not shocking to me.
no,
So if you're just to take that example of just her view of like native singing, especially it sounds like Powell singing specifically,
yeah,
that's a good window into how most people observe and document tribal customs, practices,
yeah,
beliefs, structures. So where they're like using the right terms,
yeah,
like, and they're just placing them in the wrong order, and and because they're kind of camouflaged by the right things people say,
yeah.
un, a non-astute tribal person can read something like that and might think it's accurate, you know?
Oh man, yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
It's dangerous,
I,
man.
it is, and it's weird to me because I've never really even heard anybody, whether they're tribal or non-tribal, ever designate the difference between urban singing
Yeah,
and reservation folk because
yeah,
structurally they're the same,
yeah, yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah.
Like I've
Yeah.
never heard anyone say like those aren't designations powwow singers use. We don't
No,
say urban and oh, they sing urban. Like I don't
yeah.
you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
It's like
Yeah,
weird to me.
yeah. Pretty problematic.
Contemporary, original are straight and contemporary, and within straight, you could say there's probably like some subcategories, you know, like old style or traditional, and then
Oh yeah,
kind of like contemporary straight, which is kind of, I guess you could say like Mystic River,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know, like that kind of style, I guess. I don't know. But really, I mean, it's all contemporary, right?
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah. If
all,
you
I
think
mean,
about it, if you think about it,
yeah, it's just influenced by a more traditional form of
yeah,
singing.
yeah,
But I would say like Iabe, the boys, Southern Cree, all these contemporary groups, they're still influenced by traditional forms of singing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But as I get older, I notice like I don't get caught up as much in the thing.
Yeah.
I guess I prefer to sing straight, but that's also because of the amount of effort I put into singing is pretty minimal now. So it's
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
just easier.
Yeah.
But like to assume because someone sings contemporary, they're not traditional, I think would be false.
Oh yeah, all the
Like
way
they
false.
like sometimes those people are very involved in their culture and their tradition and
Yeah.
ceremonial things. So
Yeah.
I don't know, but I've never heard anyone say urban like give an urban designation or a reservation one. What'd she say? Reservation folk?
Let me see what it exactly says. Um, yeah, let's see. Where was that at? Got to scroll back a little bit here. Yeah, when rural and reservation powwow singers create new songs, they generally the terms they generally use when describing the process. Yeah, no, it's just I think I must have said folks. I shouldn't say
Oh,
folks.
okay.
I think I said
Oh,
that. Yeah. She just separates
that's
them between.
interesting though.
Yeah.
Does she go into like the musical structure at all?
Yeah. Yeah. After that sort of intro, she has a section called Historical Perspectives and Research. And
I guess
goes
it's more like
through
a lit review, huh? Probably.
I don't know what that intro was. It seemed like just her opinion on. It seemed like more she's trying to make this differentiation between urban and
Well, and
contemporary.
I didn't understand why she brought up the political
Yeah,
factionism amongst the Pachenga people. Like it doesn't.
yeah,
Uh, I'd have to read the whole document, but it seems like it didn't have a place
yeah,
necessarily.
yeah, yeah, yeah. The historical perspectives and research. She does a bi-analytical
I don't know
analysis
what
or
that means.
whatever of different forms of music. Looks like she's looking at like some really old stuff like the Omaha grass dance.
Let's hear what
Some
she has to say about that.
um let's see, an intriguing examination of Grovant War Expedition songs by Orrin Hatton, which he terms cultural analysis, offers a modeled structure by the paradigm of creation and the paradigmatic relation that comprises the speech continuum thought, equaling breath, speech, crying, singing. Whoa, what? I don't know. Let's see. What does she say about the war expedition songs, which use the same form as Northern Plains grass Omaha songs? Although war expedition songs undoubtedly exist in Grovant society before they took up the grass dance, Hatton offers no evidence that pre-grass dance war expedition songs were used in the grass dance form. Yet this model for cultural analysis of Grovant music is not only Grovant specific, but form specific as well. I have no idea what she's saying there. I have no
I
idea
think
what.
she's trying to say that the Grovan people had a form of singing before the grass dance.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I caught that part. I don't know what the other
I
stuff. I'd have to
think
read it in context because I'm not sure. Then she has this sort of graphical analysis of Omaha grass dance form variations from the Great Lakes, Northern Traditional, the Great Plains, Northern Traditional, the Ponca, the Great Plains Southern War Dance. Yeah, I haven't read that part though, so I'm not sure what it says or what she's talking about. Then she talks about a new approach to form and terminology in the powwow repertoire.
this lady sounds
Repertoire.
like she's um influenced pretty heavy by like that whole Southern California Berkeley anthropology movement, like from like
Yeah,
the late 60s and 70s. Like
yeah, yeah, yeah. That was a thing for sure. Yeah. Then Yeah, I don't know, man.
She's probably gonna start talking about fertility objects here pretty soon. That seems to be a thing.
Let me see if it comes up. Fertility. Nope, doesn't come up.
How about sex?
Nope, that doesn't come up either.
No, really, I'm surprised. Probably
Yeah.
courtship, I imagine, or there's always some form of it. It seems like with that whole era of like this.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah. It looks like she has a transcript of a interview she did. And looks like this is where maybe she probably got some of her crazy information from, not from the person, but just from um uh her own understanding of what this person said. I'm not sure who it is, but there's a long interview where she's grilling them about different songs and how they're made and all that business.
Yeah, let's check it out.
Oh, it's long. I can't read it all, man. I can read the
Well,
beginning.
give me something.
I'm gonna give
I
you
mean,
something, man.
give me
So in this
something.
first interview segment, guy named David and the researcher were sitting outdoors with other family members of this singing group. This was 1997.
Oh wow, it's recent. She's recent.
1997.
Maybe I'm wrong about her. I don't know.
Yeah, this is 1997, and they were engaging in a roundtable discussion about powwow music and dance.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So these two families had been very active in the editing of their commentary and the shaping of the public representation. Um, so they made it certain to say, we are not ignorant people, but at the same time, we don't speak the king's English either. Okay, so here's a short excerpt from a couple folks. David, what's the name of your drum group? The Skin Tones. How long you been singing with the drum? What got you going with it? The guy says, I got started probably in the late 70s. My friend was the first one to bring me out to the drum. I was just I was just kind of sitting off. I was off to the sidelines and he asked me to come and sit down and join him. And I said, I don't know what's going on. And he said, well, that's why you learn. Just come over here and try. Pay attention the best you can and pick it up. I probably didn't join the drum until maybe 1980 or 1981. That was my brother and my brother in law. They got together and decided we're going to start a drum group, start a drum up. So it was rough going. We got laughed at and heckled because when you're first starting out, you'll have big plans of tearing off with the song, and then about halfway through, you forget what you're singing. A lot of times we'd pick up songs, but we really didn't know what they were for. So we'd sing a song and it'd be the wrong type of song. And then one of the elders or a different drummer or somebody would come up and, tell you that you made a mistake. You just kind of got to take it to the chin and roll with it and try not to do it again. I've been singing about 17 years now, and I still feel like there's a lot to learn because for a while there, I thought we were doing pretty good. But then I see some of these groups like from Saskatchewan, and these guys just blow me away. This is a familiar experience, right?
Oh yeah, well
You,
that's I would say everything there is pretty spot on.
yeah, yeah. You can kind of get a flavor for what's going on here, right? The setup. And if this was
Mhm.
her, like some of her information, you can kind of see where things can go wrong. So she says, do you compose or write your own songs? And he says, our group does. Yes, we'll write down different phrases and we'll give them to an aunt or friend or elder that will translate it into the language or into the language. So you start out with the written phrase in English. Yes, just to try to get what we want to say in English because none of us are really fluent in the language. We all know just little bits and pieces, but we put it down in English and then our aunt will translate it and she'll rewrite it in the language, what the phrase says. And once we do that, then we work on the melody to put with the words that they give us. Let me keep going, man.
But yeah, I mean, yeah. I get. So that's where she's getting the like
Yeah. She's seeing
that
the
part of it because it's like these guys are probably contemporary singers.
I don't know. It's not apparent. Let me see. Maybe it'll come up. The powwow
Yeah.
song I know. Oh, this is her. This is the researchers. The powwow songs I know that there are certain things that make up the form of the song. You usually have a certain number of repetitions, certain kinds of little phrases and vocal things you put at the end. Can you talk all about how you think of a song in terms of how it's put together? So he says, I'm more into like the music part of it, the melody. My brother and my brother-in-law, they're more into the words. So she says, "You just sing it." Then he says, "When we're making a song, I don't pay attention to the words at all. They take care of that. I just like the melodies. It's from theirs. If there's a pretty melody, then I get a better feeling. But then the words come later. But I guess when you're making up a song, you work on your melody, then try to put your words to it where you sometimes put them in the beginning, sometimes you put them in the end, wherever it works best." Yeah. So you can see pretty clearly she's taking these ideas from just one person,
Yeah.
just saying this is it. That everything's like this. Man. Yeah. Anyway. That's crazy, man. That is crazy. This is pretty typical of a lot. Well, I don't know. This seems like a archetype of some material that's out there, and that's not just non-natives that do it, man. It's native
Hmm.
people. We do the same darn thing, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even when we don't have to,
We don't have to. Yeah,
we'll just kind of adopt it and we think it's the right thing to do, you know?
yeah. Sounds good. It must be the way it is. I don't know, man. But
Interesting.
yeah. Anyway, I was looking at this list of let's see, where's it at? I just had it up here. So this has been cited, like I said, 45 times. Um, so the things that are citing this are titles such as Powwows, Intertribalism, and the Value of Competition. Powwows and Identity on the Piedmont and Coastal Plains of North Carolina. Supervised descriptive pattern discovery in Native American music. Northern style powwow music, musical features and meanings. These are all like in the 2000. Some of these are 2019. One's 2020. Yeah, man. So let's see what else. There's some good ones in here, I think. Um, oh yeah, music, power, and relationships. Finding fiddling. Oh, this is about fiddling.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's interesting. Seven Fire Children, Gender Embodiment and Musical Performance of Decolonization by Anishinaabe Youth. Yeah, man.
The old Ojibwe fiddle player.
Yep. I don't know, man. There's probably some good ones in here that are sort of critiquing this because here's one I'd be interested in reading this one. My great grandmother was a Cherokee princess. Ethnic boundaries and
Yeah.
powwow discourse. That sounds interesting.
So I looked her up and it says that she says she's Choctaw,
Oh, okay.
Cherokee, and god dang Choctaw.
God dang. Who's that guy? Who's that guy?
Craig Cameron.
Greg Cameron. Gotta slap
Go,
him. Just
go,
slap him.
dang.
You ever care for him anymore?
Yeah, actually, we talked about a month ago.
Oh yeah. Should get him on.
Um,
Be cool
get
for the
him on
listener to
talk.
hear his accent.
Go, dang.
Yeah.
Go, dang, Aaron. You doing any singing? Yeah, Craig. Go, dang. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty good, man.
I
Anyway,
want to talk to this lady.
yeah. She'd be a good one to talk to. Find out what's up. Anyway, that's what I had for that. I got some. I got.
I don't know. We should be done now, though, huh?
Let's be
How
done.
long we've
man.
been talking?
About an hour and 45 or so.
Oh, geez. So I'm starting a campaign.
Okay.
I want to visit with Elizabeth Weiss, I think is her name.
Elizabeth Weiss.
Yeah.
Okay.
I put it out there. She's a forensics anthropologist, biological anthropologist.
Yeah.
I believe at San Jose State, but she's very opposed to the NAGPRA laws, Native American Graves Protection Repatriation Act. And she's kind of against like certain beliefs about the handling of the dead and its effect on science and things like that.
Yeah.
And I don't want to argue with her. Like, I'm not trying to fight. I actually have a lot of respect for people that are willing to like publicly in academia come out against the norm.
Yeah.
I don't agree with her. You know, I don't agree with her at all. But
yeah,
I want her on the podcast to have a discussion about her beliefs, where they stem from.
Yeah.
I'm not in the business of trying to convince her. I don't need to convince her of anything, you know. I don't know. I find it's fascinating to me that somebody would be willing to like almost commit like career suicide for that, you know?
Yeah.
Which I think some of us native academics I've seen aren't willing to take those risks.
No.
For beliefs.
No.
We find weird little crosses to stand or to carry and little hills to die on, you know?
Yeah.
Like weird things like mascots and
yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, man. Like, I just think
we take the safe zone, man. We take the safe route. Then after it's all said and done, then we go gossip about how wrong somebody was or whatever.
Yeah, like I complain and bitch a lot, but I'd never protested jack shit, you know?
yeah.
I never even sang in a flash mob, you know?
You did once.
Maybe one, I think. Were you there?
Southgate Mall.
I didn't do the Southgate Mall thing. I remember it though, and everybody was loving it. But yeah, I like to like, I want to visit with her. I want to question her.
Yeah.
I want to hear what she has to say.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't want to debate. I just want to sit there and listen, almost like I just visit, like a real visit.
Yeah. So if somebody knows, what's her name again?
Elizabeth Weiss.
Elizabeth Weiss.
Yeah.
Send her our contact information, tribal research specialists at
I think I found her email.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, send it anyway, because I don't know if it's active. I started drafting an email yesterday.
Send it to her, man.
But
let's get her on.
I almost wonder if we should send it from does the podcast have an email?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll
send
type
it to me.
I'll
send it to her.
Yeah, and we'll just go from there. Worst she can say is no, and then we're just right back where we are. So
I want to talk to these guys. Cool, man.
Yeah, and then I think Tara Browner might be next.
Yeah. That would be. Yeah, maybe we're getting it all wrong. Maybe she needs to hear some things that I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe we need to hear some
Maybe
things.
we need to hear some things. Set us straight.
Yeah.
I don't think so, though. All right. That's it. We're done. Peace.
Peace.